We are going to discuss about the topic of acid-base balance and buffer system. That's a very important topic from the point of view of the medical resident, nephrology resident, medical officer. The objective of this presentation is to understand what are the hydrogen ions, how they affect on the pH, power of hydrogen, and buffer system. Buffers क्या हैं, व्हाट आर द टाइप्स ऑफ बफर, फिर बफर का रोल जो है स्ट्रेस में क्या है। तो ये सारी चीज़ें हम इन्हें सिंपलेस्ट फॉर्म में कोशिश करेंगे अंडरस्टैंड। अब दिस स्लाइड शोज के एक सॉल्वेंट है, वाटर है। तो वी नो के वाटर में हाइड्रोजन एंड हाइड्रोक्साइल होते हैं, आयंस होते हैं। कोई भी हम सॉल्यूशन बनाते हैं, सॉल्यूट्स ऐड करते हैं, चाहे सोडियम क्लोराइड हो, चाहे HCl हो, तो फिर सॉल्यूशन जो बनता है, क्वेश्चन कम्स इन माइंड कि व्हाट इज द pH of that solution? Is it basic or this acidic? That depends on how much hydrogen ion present that on the pH scale, which extend from 0 to 40. More the hydrogen ion present in that solution, the more acidic it would be. And more hydrogen ion are represented over here, the highest concentration representing the more acidic and lesser pH. It means hydrogen ion would be more, and the pH would be lesser and lesser. So, for example, we take the serum pH 7.4, which is a typical normal pH considered the serum that carries around 40 nanomoles per liter hydrogen ion. In this way, anything accumulate in the body. Suppose there is a derangement and acids and ions accumulate in the body. To this level, this will reflect into lower pH 7.3. In this way, 100 hydrogen ion makes the pH of 7.0. So this is already seen. The neutral pH is 7, which is the pH of pure water. And in clinical perspective, what is the compatible pH for the life beyond 6.8 and beyond 7.8 is not compatible with the life. Typical 7.4 is this normal pH. So different pH of different solutions, substances have been shown over here. The battery acid has the lowest pH, sulfuric acid 1, strong acid, lemon has. In this case, banana has pH 5, 5.3 range इसकी, और water given no 7 hand, and the more goes beyond the 7, 8, 9, 10, the more alkaline solution would. Now, very important, buffer can be defined as actually the substances, better to say substances that resist the change in pH when acid or base added to it. So it resists change substances. If that is buffer, so it resists the change in pH. So in the body, we have a two kind of acids: the volatile, which is not stable, easily evaporatable, and the fixed acid. We will discuss in more detail. Uh, Carbonic acid is not stable enough, soon converts into the carbon dioxide and the water, and this is the, we can say, the volatile acids. And on the right side is non-volatile fixed acids, the keto acid, lactic acid, और organic inorganic acids बहुत सारे बॉडी में होते हैं। अच्छा, प्रोडक्शन रेट की अगर बात करें तो 15 to 20,000 मिलीमोल कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एक दिन में जो भी हम खाते पीते हैं, whatever we eat, so that produces that much. And on the right side, the non-volatile fixed acid अगर approximately देखें तो 1 मिलीग्राम per kg per day पैदा हो रहे होते हैं। और चूंकि जो एसिड्स पैदा होने की ज़्यादा होती है पॉसिबिलिटी, तो ये जो नेचर ने हमें रेशो दिया है बाइकार्बोनेट टू दी कार्बोनिक एसिड इज 20 to 1, 20 times more bicarbonate as compared to carbonic acid. So how does these acids get rid? The volatile acid gets rid from the body through the lungs, and the non-volatile mainly through the kidneys. So these three mechanisms or pathways through which the body get rid of excess acids. These are the buffers called chemical buffers, and in conjunction with that are helped by the lungs and kidney in order to bring the homeostatic state. So what are the buffers? This was an experiment done in on the dose. They were infused huge amount of the hydrogen ion, 1 crore 40 lakh almost in a mole per liter of hydrogen ion, but there was very little change in the plasma, in the plasma pH. So why there was not a much change in the pH? That was because of the presence of buffer inside the body, which takes care of the serum pH, and that was reflected very negligible in comparison to that. So these are three more important buffers present in the body: hemoglobin, bone, and the little bit component helped by phosphate. And in this pictorial form, I will describe each one of them. Hemoglobin, very important buffer systems. What happens in the acidic environment? The respiratory center stimulated, and subsequently the respiratory rate is stimulated, and there's washout of carbon dioxide from the body. And on that side, the hydrogen ion, uh, in presence of acidosis, more hydrogen ion are excreted through the kidneys. We will see a little bit more detail in the subsequent slides. Before that, let me discuss about that bone, which is again a very important buffer. Bone can take up to hydrogen in exchange for calcium, sodium, potassium. That's called ionic exchange, and bone releases the calcium carbonate, bicarbonate, and you can see in the picture as well. So here the acidosis, constant pressure on the bone in the form of hydrogen ion, and uh, it is buffered with the release of sodium, potassium, calcium. So in this picture again, I've shown in the kidney failure, there's a metabolic acidosis, a reduced acid excretion, there's metabolic acidosis, and how this is reflected into different organs of body like PTH is elevated. And what about the bone में क्या होता है? Decrease bone formation, increase bone resorption. We have just discussed the release of the calcium, sodium, potassium, and carbonate in the presence of constant acidotic environment. So you can say the release of calcium carbonate from the bone is the most important buffering mechanism involved in the chronic metabolic acidosis. This is the nephron, glomerulus, and tubules descending, ascending, and the collecting. How the body help the acidotic environment. Uh, Here you can see the glomerulus. There's filtrate, and what happens? The filtrate, there is titration of the acids. Hydrogen meet with NH3 and form the ammonia, and how the phosphate buffer plays a role. It bind with the hydrogen ion and make a dihydrogen phosphate, and they are excreted in the kidney. And on that side, the distal tubule, collected tubule, there's more reabsorption of bicarb over here, and more excretion of the hydrogen ion occurs over here. So in this way, body gets rid of the excess acidosis. So bicarb reabsorption also occur very much over here too, proximal tubule. So in this way, if I summarize these three most important mechanisms simultaneously working, uh, the most frequently available is chemical buffers we've just discussed, and that is helped by these uh, mechanisms. We discussed how the carbon dioxide getting rid from the body, and how the hydrogen ion same has been discussed over here too. And the bone, we have discussed how the acidic environment is combated with the release of calcium carbonate from the bone. So if I summarize, the substance existing change in pH is called the buffer. We just discussed, and the bone important buffer in chronic metabolic acidosis. So यूरेमिक एसिडोसिस so या रीनल ट्यूबर एसिडोसिस दोनों में जो बोन है that plays very important role and calcium carbonate release होता है release from the bone in the presence of chronic metabolic acidosis and bone loss bone crystal loss होता है and the यूरेमिक acidosis multifactorial it's not simple defined by one mechanism it's multifactorial actually and acidosis is only a minor factor. Thank you very much. I hope this would be a bit helpful, and I would encourage and be thankful if you write your question or something which is not cleared over here, so we can discuss and I also answer on your comments. Please